What's up guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the water leak sensors from THIRDREALITY. Now these are an inexpensive Zigbee device that's quite simple to hook up to your home assistant. They serve two main functions. One, they have an audible alarm that'll let you know if there's a leak. It's pretty loud. And two, you can set it up to send notifications to your phone if there's a problem your way. Now, I've had two toilets overflow in the past before, and let me tell you, this audible alarm would have been nice. It could have saved a substantial amount of headache and repair costs. So we're going to go through how to set these up in Home Assistant. I'm going to show you how to make a group and send a notification to our phone if there's a problem. Well, it might not be the most flashy project to do on this channel. Let me tell you, this project is all about peace of mind. It's cheap, and if anything bad were to ever happen, it just might turn out to be one of your favorite projects you ever installed.
All right, so let's jump into this. This is pretty straightforward putting these things together. There's a little instruction card that it comes with. It's going to show you about how far of a gap you need to put on the little two metal bars on the bottom. And just note that when those touch, this thing's going to get loud. So we're going to pull out all the screws. Now you're going to see me pointing here at a little button right there on the side. There it is. That is the factory reset, just in case you ever needed it. So we're going to put the bars in, put the screws back in. I definitely recommend putting the long bar kind of far apart. That way you don't actually bump it when you're right there, when you're putting it on and it's close enough to the gap. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, but these things are designed to be a little ear piercing, so just be cognizant of that. Now, just to go over how this thing works, you got the screws that extend a little bit past the bottom there. If those get wet, or if you get water in between those two contacts, it's going to set off the sensor. And all we did is put the batteries in. You'll notice the little blue light is blinking. That means it's ready to be paired in Home Assistant. All right, so we're going to jump into Home Assistant. We're going to scroll down and hit Settings and Devices and Services. And we are going to scroll down and look for our Zigbee devices. Now, if you've never set up a Zigbee device before, these are about as straightforward as it gets. Pretty much walks itself through it. It finds the device and it's going to start pairing. Now we're going to want to give our device a unique name like a guest restroom. Now this is going into a new area that I hadn't already previously assigned. So I'm going to create the area and let's call this upstairs restroom. Now we're going to go ahead and give this a toilet icon just to keep things fun. And we're going to set it to the second floor. And all we need to do is scroll down and push create. So I did get a 4-pack. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these installed. Now remember when you're doing this to not put the battery all the way in until you are ready to set it up in Home Assistant. I don't know how long it stays in that little state to register it with the light blinking blue, but we're just going to do them one at a time. That way we can keep things straight. And I went ahead and used a little piece of blue tape and just use a Sharpie pen to label everything so we can keep everything straight.
All right, so I think the way I'm going to approach this here is show you guys everything already set up. Then I'll show you what we did and we'll go through how to create it. That way you'll have a good understanding of exactly what we're doing. So this idea kind of stemmed off the light counter I have up here. If I start turning on lights around the house, you'll see the counter goes up. And as I turn them off, the counter goes down. So it's all fine and dandy to put a counter up here, but that got me thinking. What if I don't really have a big leak? Say maybe the garbage disposal's only leaking when someone turns it on, or there's some condition in my plumbing that's not really making a big leak. If this thing's not continually going off and I missed the notification for some reason, it wasn't going to let me know. So I'm going to set off one of my alarms right now. Now you can see what happened here is I got one alarm that shows me on. And if I actually hold it down and keep it going off, I'll do that in a second, you'll see that the state stays to 1 on the second alarm. But when I release it, that goes off. So one shows me anything active, and this one shows me anything that's been active. But this even goes a step further. So let's go ahead and clear the notification. So when I set off an alarm, I'm going to get an initial notification on my phone. And that notification is going to come up and look like this. It's going to show leak detected. And in this case, it's the guest restroom that I set off. Now, when I acknowledge the notification by clicking on this little icon up here, it's going to disappear and set another notification. Now, this one's going to show me that the alert has been acknowledged. Now, if I don't acknowledge these notifications when they go off, it's going to send me a new notification every 15 minutes. And a little quirk to that, but it's kind of positive, is the notifications by default without doing a lot of extra coding, which in all honesty, really wasn't going to help the situation. They're going to get sent on the calendar 15 minutes. So for example, straight up on the hour, if it's 1 o'clock, 1:15, 1:30, 1:45. When I say that, what I mean is the first notification, if it's at say 1:09 that it goes off, you're going to get the next notification at 1:15. And I didn't mind keeping it like that. That just means that first notification, I'm probably going to get it quicker. And this is the notification that we're going to get every 15 minutes if we haven't cleared it. So I felt it was important to set it up this way. That way it covers anything going off just real briefly, and it'll cover anything going off persistently. If I see one of my leak detectors went off, but I don't have an active alarm going on, it's probably something I need to address or at least look into, but I probably don't have a real emergency situation that I maybe need to leave work and run home for. Now, on the other hand, if I see something like this, then I probably got a serious problem that needs to be addressed. Maybe send the neighbor over and have things checked out, because I might have a real situation on my hands. So to accomplish all this, we basically have 3 areas of Home Assistant we need to address. First, we're going to need to create some helpers. So we're going to come down into Devices, click on Helpers, and we are going to create 3 helpers. Now, I'm going to kind of breeze through these quickly, at least attempt to, without over explaining everything, because there is a lot going on here. So this first one right here, this leak alert attached, this is an input boolean. Basically, this means once one of them goes off, that's what allows it to stay in an on state without being turned off. Otherwise, it would just go off real quick and we wouldn't know if the problem was persisting. Now, this last leak sensor right here, this one, its job is input text. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to store whichever one is the last one that went off. That way, our other automations can pull up that location from this helper right here. And lastly, our last helper is the leak sensor state count on. This is the one that's going to show us if we have any alarms persistently going off. Then next, we're going to come back into settings. We are going to go to automations, and you can see we have 4 different leak automations. We have one that's going to run when it's cleared. I showed you guys that already with the pop-up. One that's going to show when it's the initial notification, and this one down here is going to run the reminders. And this one basically helps everything run, keeps it latched to the on state, and works with all the other automations to make sure that it does what we want it to do. And lastly, if we come back into our dash, we are going to set up 2 badges. One that tells us when something went on and stays on until we clear it. And the last badge is our badge counter that's going to let us know that one of our alarms is persistently going off if that's the case. Now, I am going to work off of my little template I have here, but I'm going to try to put a lot of this down in the description, everything you guys will need. If you use my description and the video together, you should be able to pull this off. So kind of ignore my notes. Don't directly go off them. I am going to clean them up before I post them on YouTube, but just giving you guys a heads up, that's the way this is going to work. So now I'm going to delete everything that I worked so hard to set up and re-put everything back in from scratch. That way you guys can see what I did.
So I'm going to try to inlay a screenshot of my notes over the top of this to help it make sense. So again, we're going to come here into settings, come into devices and entities, and we got the helpers tab. Now we're going to come down here and create some helpers. So the first one we're going to create, even though it's a boolean, they've changed things around. We need to use the toggle helper. Super easy. Copy and paste the name in here. We're going to give it an icon. And click create. And when we open this up, you can see it just creates a switch. Now we're going to create the next one here. We're going to go through this real quick. This one's going to be a template. We are going to come down to sensor. We are going to give our sensor its name. We are going to paste in the YAML, and we are going to come down to state class and select measurement. Now I completely forgot, if we wanted to, we could have came back in here and gave this an icon that looks consistent like the other ones. And the last helper we're going to make is going to be the last leak sensor. That's the one that's going to store the name for us so we know what the area that the leak actually is occurring in. And this one's going to be a text.
to name it last leak sensor. And we'll just give it that water icon just to keep everything consistent. And click create. All right, so now we're going to do the automations. We're going to come into settings, click on the automations, and you see I got the word leak up here in my search bar. It just kind of keeps everything nice and clean. I got a lot of other crap in here that's doing stuff, but this way we only see what we're working on. So creating these automations, we're going to create a new automation. We're going to add a trigger. Now I've noticed if you just kind of come down here to the bottom, just put some random crap in here. Okay, we're going to be editing the YAML, which I'll show you what really does here in a second. And however we start the automation isn't going to matter. So we're going to just put the name here and click save. Now I'll show you, I'll go back. This is just a placeholder, okay? So I'm going to come back into it. I'm going to come up here to the three dots on top. Now mine's a little darked out because of my theme, but we got a little edit in YAML here. Now we are going to copy all of our YAML verbiage, paste it in, click save. And as you can see, when I come back in, it changed everything for us based on the YAML. So we are set up here. Now we just have 3 more to create. Again, we're just going to really quickly add a trigger, click this bottom thing here, click save, just so we can get to putting the name. This one's going to be the leak alert initial. I'm going to click save. Now I don't even need to exit back out. Just come down here to edit YAML again. I'm going to get all of my YAML verbiage here, copy it, paste it in, hit save, go back, create a new one, add a trigger. And again, this is just so we can get to where we're going to save the name, because editing the YAML is going to adjust all of our parameters for us. Now we're going to come back up here, edit the YAML. Again, I have all this in the description. Click save. Only one more to go. Create automation, create new automation. Just add a trigger so we can get to where we're saving the name. I'm going to paste my name in there. This one's going to be the leak alert cleared. Hit save. Edit the YAML, paste my YAML in there, click save, and we are set. So the last thing we need to do is come to our dashboard and add our badges up here. Now we're just going to edit the dashboard, click the plus, and I'm going to click by entity, leak alert latched. I'm going to check the box here, click continue, add a dashboard. Now for some reason it won't let us adjust all the parameters at once. We always have to go back in and then click edit. I think that's weird, but whatever. I like the icon, that's great. Now we're also going to need to add an interaction here, and we're going to select toggle. The visibility, I'm going to add a condition. It's going to be based off the entity state. The leak alert latched is equal to on, and click save. So you can see when we click this, it'll clear our badge. Now we only have one more here to make. We're going to again come back up here to edit the dashboard, click plus, by entity. We are going to base this one off leak sensor count state on. There it is. Click continue. Add a dashboard. Come back into edit. And again, the visibility, we're going to add a condition. This is going to be based off of the numeric state. Leak sensor state count on. If it's above 0, and let's come down and click save and see what we got. Click done. We're going to set off one of our sensors. Now you can see I got 2 different colors there. Not a big fan of that. So one little thing I'm going to do, it's petty. I'm going to come down here into this one, edit it, come down to content, edit the state of the color, and I'm going to make it, I believe it's this primary, so it all matches. So when anything goes off, now everything's just going to be the same color. Click done and clear off my alarm, and we are 100% set up. And just like that, our very basic off-on audible alarm sounding sensor now notifies us where the location of the alarm is, gives us a 15-minute repetitive notification until we clear it, gives us the ability to clear it, and also based on the way how we have this set up, it's kind of nice because it lets us know if it's just a one-time set off or if it's actually still constantly going off. Now, I don't know how other people have set this up. I thought long and hard about how I wanted mine to behave, and if you have any recommendations on how I could have made it better, leave them down in the comments, and maybe someday I'll do a video update. Now with that said, let's get these detectors where they belong in the house, and hopefully we can go on with our lives completely forgetting that they even exist. Hopefully the worst thing we ever have to do with these things is change the batteries periodically, but hey, now if there's ever a problem, we're going to know about it.
So most of these are not getting installed in the most camera friendly of locations. So I'm going to go put these underneath the dirty sinks and behind the toilets, and I'll be right back. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I think those are a great product. I bought them with my own money because I think they're important. I'm going to leave a link down in the description. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this.